Good. Everybody. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Hey, my God is so good to me. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Well, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Yeah, my God is so good to me. In my time of trouble, Lord, God is so good. Yeah, in my time of trouble, Lord, God is so good. I said, in my time of trouble, Lord, God is so good. Hey, my God is so good to me. Well, in my time of triumph, Lord, God is so good. In my time of triumph, Lord, God is so good. In my time of triumph, Lord, God is so good. Hey, my God is so good to me. Every day, in every way, God is so good. I said every day, in every way, God is so good. You gotta take the time to praise the Spirit. You gotta take the time to praise the Spirit. Come on. You gotta take the time to praise the Spirit. Come on. My God is so, hey, my God is so, look out. My God is so good to me.
Wowee is right. Fabulous. Thank you so much, Tom. Band getting us going. Wonderful. If we could start the morning every morning with that energy, wouldn't that be fabulous? So welcome and good morning. I'm Char Bennington, and what a joy it is to see all of you today on this Celebration Sunday. We are blessed to have your energy and your presence here, so thank you for coming and joining us. Just a reminder before we get going, please turn your phones to silent meditation mode and take the opportunity to check in at any time throughout the service if you'd like. It's a great way to share our message with lots of different social network platforms, so thanks for doing that. Each Sunday, we come together to celebrate our oneness with each other and with God. We welcome people of every culture, lifestyle, and creed. We honor the many paths to God, the many names for God, and the many ways in which to experience God. Whatever your path and wherever you are on it, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. We are grateful for the presence of joy within each and every one of us, and the expression of love, joy, and truth in our lives. Today we join with people around the world, our brothers and sisters in many, many languages that are sharing the same unity daily word. And today's word is my source. I am never away from Spirit as I move through this life experience. How often do we put a label on ourselves or others? We should never define or limit ourselves by the many roles we are called upon to play as we move through our human lives. There is no end to the infinite power of creation expressing through us. Our spiritual source will never declare us to be complete. We are one through all eternity, always creating, always bringing more of our divinity into realization. We are never apart because we are one with Source, both individually and collectively. When we turn our thoughts to God and live as expressions of love, we extend the power of Spirit through every challenge we face and every choice that we make. And from John chapter 13, verse 31, Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. So if you would like to start every day of the week with this daily Soonity moment, we do have copies of the Daily Word for sale at the information desk. We have July and August in case you want it for the remaining 10 days of the month. And we also have September and October. So if you're hankering for the rest of August and then the next couple of months, we have them in small and large print. And you know who you are, what size print you need. I know which one I need. At the information desks. And now, Reverend Heidi is going to lead us in celebration and an opening prayer.
And thank you so much. Yes. Oh, beautiful. So welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, and thank you all for saying yes to come into Unity in Chicago. You know, this is a place where we love you as you learn to love yourself, a spiritual community that we call our home on Thome, because the idea is to recognize that the true feeling of being at home is accepting yourself just exactly as you are and knowing that you are valuable without having to put anything on or act in a certain way. It's just your beingness. So let us anchor into this time of beingness. And I invite you to close your eyes and just kind of, as we like to say, relax into your greatness. Today we are focusing on this power of strength. Not strength as a sense of being forceful in the world, but in the strength of being powerful on the inside. The strength of knowing stability and into what you are rooted. The strength of courage to go forth in the world living from that heart center. And the sense of being able to live tenaciously. You know, think of how you show up for your spirituality, how you continue to show up to stand in love and light and laughter. That is our power of strength. So invite yourself to feel and experience the color of spring green, starting in the center of your body and going out throughout your body, that feeling of growth and strength. And filling this sanctuary with spring green and sending that out into this world to our brothers and sisters, reminding them all that they are the power of spiritual strength. So in that oneness, we say together, I am. God is. We are. And all is well. And we breathe in, and yes, so glad you're here. I'd like to start our service with the prayer that is thank you. We have always so many people to thank, so many people make this service what it is and make this community what it is. And so we have a young lady that has been with us for 20 years. If I left your little sheet, the one sheet I needed right there. Yeah, okay. All right. Because I know you, but I'm going to know you better after I read your story. All right, so Cammie Giraldo has been coming to Unity since she was a unitot, okay? That's like a long time, like this big, all right? So almost 20 years. She has been helping in the youth ministry at the 3rd to 5th grade level with the K2 kids as well. She took this last year between high school and college to work with AmeriCorps, and now she's off to Toronto, the Blue Jay city, for her freshman year. She has been a huge contribution to our youth with her kindness and gentle spirit. We send her off with a wonderful unity. We know God is with you at all times. And let us give Cammie a big hand. Come on up here. Yay, you. That's right. Here, let me give you your mic. And Lynn Williams, who I know has really been traveling with you in the youth department, would like to say a few words, and then we'd love you to Unitats. My gosh, I'm just like in a bask in your energy. This is fantastic. Okay, so carry on, you guys.
Any of you who know how to clone people, would you talk to me after class? Because I need about 8 more of her. She's been wonderful. It was my first year, and she was this constant, sweet little presence that showed up on Sunday. And I just love you, Cammie. I'm going to miss you like crazy.
Okay, well, Thank you. I don't know. Thank you for having me, I guess. I'm very excited to go.
Get this out of your way so we can see you.
I'm very excited to go to Toronto and experience some new experiences and go on a different journey. And I'm very grateful to have had the experiences that I've had here and to learn about everyone having their own different spiritual journey and it being okay to have it individually and have a different spiritual journey, but to all do it together. So I'm very grateful for that.
Toronto, how are you doing?
I'm going to the University of Toronto, and I'm studying international development. I'm very excited.
So are we. Yeah. What have you learned? Tammy, tell me what you've learned about yourself by being here since you were a unitot, right? What a blessing. We see these little pictures of her. And so, what do you think you know about yourself by being here with Ed Unity?
That's a difficult question. I guess I would just say that everyone has their own way of looking at things and that's okay.
Yeah, beautiful, right? How do we honor that? So can we give you a blessing? Would you be willing to receive this?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we all stand up and let's rub our hands together and send this and put our palms toward Cammie, and we'll give you one line. I'll give you one line at a time. So Cammie, we love you. Cammie, we bless you. Cammie, we appreciate you. And Cammie, we behold the Christ as you. Vaya con Dios. There you go.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you. Wow. All right. Are you going to be downstairs for lunch? Maybe. Hopefully. All right. So people can hug you up. Okay. Beautiful. So, really, how fun to grow up in unity. And then what she's done, of course, is to continue to give back. And these young people have been so blessed by her presence. And so we'll have to go to Toronto and look her up. So the idea is that we are talking about the power of strength. And so we'll light our candle over here. This symbolizes this light. Oh, I love looking for this lighter. Oh, boy. Okay. And this symbolizes this light that never goes out within us. And that is always the answer to anything outside of us. So if you'll put your hand on your heart, and I'd like you to breathe in, knowing that you have the power of strength. And strength is to be able to withstand the winds of life, the changes all around you. That is spiritual strength, to be able to stand steadfast in the truth of the I am. So if we can say together, I am spiritual strength. Let's say it together. I am spiritual strength. And I'd like us to stay in our sections, but if you can stand and just hug your neighbor and say, you are spiritual strength, all right? So let us do that just for a moment. All right, back to your seats, you strengthers. All right. I always forget to say that if you would like a handshake in this hugging, group, please just put out your hand because we really want to honor you exactly where you are. All right, and then we say again to everyone all over this world, let's put our hands up. And let's say 3 times, we are spiritual strength, and send that not only to yourself, but anyone who you really think and feel needs to know that right here and right now. So we are spiritual strength 3 times. We are spiritual strength. We are spiritual strength. We are spiritual strength, and breathe into that truth. And I will tell you that right after our service, we are having a lunch, and so I appreciate you all coming together and having that fellowship, and then we'll meet with what we're calling Unity 2020, and I'll tell you more about that after the talk. But anyway, so Tom is going to sing to us about one of the aspects of the power of spiritual strength, and that is courage. So Tom Logan, let us give him a hand.
Thanks. You know, it's hard to have strength when you're afraid. And when looking for advice, I always like to go to the experts. So the songwriter who wrote this song is named Justin Hines, and he has something called Larsen syndrome, which is a horrible, debilitating disease where your bones all grow out in grotesque forms, and it screws up your inside, and every day is a challenge. This guy goes and does national tours in Canada. He's recorded the TV show themes, and he advocates for the people with disabilities. It would be very easy for him to sit in a room, and no one would say this is wrong. But he has the courage to have the strength. How does he do it? In this song, we find out, because he asks for the courage. We have to ask, just like we did ask for faith and everything else we do every Sunday here. He asks for the courage because it's a battle. Sometimes it's a battle for life and death, you know. And I know there are people in here who are battling that same battle. So many of us. So this song, he says, won't you come out to play, courage? I'm feeling down again, I need you. That's how it goes. Gonna face the dark tonight, gonna touch the starlight when I go. And if I know the feeling's right, then I've found my place to go. Gonna face the dark tonight, gonna tell them I am on the rise. Love no longer out of sight, the silver linings in my eyes. Yeah, I said courage. Oh, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm a living it down again. I'm gonna need to call a friend. I said courage. Oh, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm a living it down again. I'm gonna need you, call your friend. So here's hoping I find you along the way. Gonna ride alone tonight, gonna slay the demons in my way. 'Cause now I know the feeling's right, the cause of freedom's here to stay. Gonna ride alone tonight, they will know the battle's all been won. Faith no longer out of sight, my heart pointed to the sun. Hey! Said courage, oh, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm a living it down again, but I'm a bringing it back someday. I said courage, oh, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm a living it down again. I'm gonna need to call your friend. So here's hoping I find you along the way. Yeah, and if I take it all for granted, I can throw it all away. So I wanna leave this world better when I'm gone. And I know the morning after will bring another day. So this is my revival song. It's my revival song. I said, courage, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm living it down again, but I'm bringing it back someday. I said, courage, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm living it down again. I'm gonna need it back someday. I said, courage, won't you come out to play? Won't you come out to play? I'm living it down again. Gonna need to call your friend, but here's hoping I find you along the way. Yeah. Peter Paulzak, Bill Harris, and Sarah Ellen, thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Tom, thanks for sharing that story. Thank you so much, because I really wanted to include him in my talk, and there's so much happening right now in this world, and so thank you, okay? Thank you. Yeah. Let's just say that. Courage, won't you come out to play? Let's say it together. Courage, won't you come out to play? Yeah? All right. Aren't you glad you have unity in your life? Right? I almost hate when things happen. See, there's that word. I'm disturbed when things disturbing happen in the world because I have to work it through myself, yeah? That's what we do here at Unity. And I would love to say that things happen. And, we had James in our class at 8:45. He's like, I'm good at just staying stable and peace. I'm like, thank you. Thanks for bringing that Christ consciousness conversation to us. So we stand here talking about the power of spiritual strength. And it is this willingness to recognize that that is what's in you. Right? And the world is going to do what the world's going to do, and our ability to be able to stand stable in not only our faith, but our sense of peace, our sense of well-being, and recognize that is the place from which we can be the healer. That's the place we can be the teacher. That's the place we can make a difference. And to be able to recognize that there is this opportunity to not be part of the problem, but to be part of the solution. And it is so much spiritual maturity. So thank you for showing up at a place like Unity that really is about spirit school. That's why it's interesting to ask young people, because I think they're not reflecting, on what I learned as much as this is what I'm doing. I'm moving to Toronto, I'm doing this thing, I've been here, I don't have to reflect. It's fascinating to see as we get older, we get to reflect sort of a little bit more on maybe how we used to act and how we act today. So this book, again, is called Divine Audacity, because it's pretty audacious to practice peace in times that don't feel peaceful. Yeah? And so this book invites us, I dare myself to be the light of the world. I dare myself to be the light of the world. Let's say that together. I dare myself to be the light of the world. And I always say breathe into that. So Linda Martellowitz said, who will be with us next weekend and who will be with us on a retreat that we're having, a retreat from, I would say, the worldly ways, to come together and really feel what community feels like. Because community, in its essence, is connection. And connection is where we grow and how we get strong. Connection in a place of healing. So she's going to be with us for a Friday night time together from 7 to 9, and then on Saturday from 10 to 4. And I just invite you to let go of whatever you got going on, unless you're part of a peace march or something. You could be excused for that. But to come and recognize how audacious it is to be in a community that really helps us see who we are, but also helps us call out that within us that is blocking these powers that are within. So these are 12 powers that Charles Fillmore said were represented by the disciples that supported Jesus in doing his thing. I mean, Jesus was 3 years on the planet, being very committed to what he was doing, stirred up lots of stuff, right? You could say he was upsetting people, but what he was doing was helping people see how uncomfortable they were with being the light of the world. right? He'd say that light of God is in you. They're like, the kingdom of heaven's within you. I don't think so. In fact, I'm so uncomfortable, I'm going to kill you, right? So, I mean, it's a big message to dare to be the light of the world, And it is even way more than maybe even if your life is committed to this, to divine audacity, then it's worth then you're doing your thing. And maybe the passing of your body at some level is not as big of a deal when you consider the people that have gone before us. The commitment they had to living this spiritual path. And so I'm just honored, always honored to be with people at a Unity community because it's a really, really audacious thing to show up for this kind of a message. Spiritual strength, I believe we have a slide here, is a spiritual strength is our capacity. What does she do? She is so cute. I never know what she's going to do. She does this on Sunday morning. I was like, okay, so thank you, Tammy. All right, so yay, Tammy, let's give her a hand. When I tell her we may do away with some of this art, artsy stuff, we won't do it on the PowerPoint. She's like, "Don't take my art away from me." So anyway, here we go. I'm like, "No, you keep playing." All right, spiritual strength is our capacity to stand undaunted in the midst of shifting circumstances, to act courageously, and to stay the course. Okay, do we have some shifting circumstances going on? Maybe not only in our country and in the world, but in your life. Does anything really stay the same? Does your hair quit growing? Well, maybe some of you, sorry. Does your nails quit growing? My mother always said, okay, she's Texan and she always has to be nice, that, if you are bald, it's because you have such a great face, God has extended it. All right? All right. My mom, if she needs anything, she's charming. So, all right, so the ability to stand even when there's all these changes going on. And I would also like to say to notice when you don't feel like you're standing and to be very compassionate with yourself. But this is spiritual strength. And it is symbolized by a Bible story that we all know, symbolized by David and Goliath. All right. Now, I'd like for you to listen, not with maybe your early training religious ears, but with your metaphysical ears, knowing that every character in this story is a part of you. All right? So the Philistines and the Israelites were at war. Is war still happening on this planet? Yes. Right? So there was war going on. People, unlike Cammie, not saying everybody has a point of view, right? So they were warring. And the Philistines had a warrior named Goliath. And Goliath was big and huge, and everybody was terrified of Goliath. And so they shut down, they stayed in their fear, and they didn't want to deal with Goliath. Okay, so here's this young man, David, who was not a warrior. In fact, his brothers were warriors. They were all in the Israeli war, and they went on the Israelites' war, and he was just bringing provisions to everybody, just bringing food for people to be fed. And he had this insight, as you do from time to time. He said, I am led by Spirit, by God, to go up to Goliath. And he told King Saul, who said, are you kidding? Are you crazy? I mean, it's not really written like that. But basically, that's what he was saying. He says, Goliath has been trained his whole life to be a warrior, and he's big, and he's got, stuff all over him, and spears and swords. And David said, but this is what I'm called to do. I know I'm supposed to do this. And Saul can't figure it out at all. He says, well, please take my armor, take my, so you can have something. And it's too big for David, and it's because David's little, and he can't carry it, and he says, I'm not doing this. He says, I know this is mine to do. And he shows up being David, and Goliath is like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? And so this is what David says. I will let David speak for himself here. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. He says, you have come to me with swords and spear and javelin, but I have come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This very day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and all this assembly may know that the Lord does not save by sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hand. All right, so what David is standing in his divine audacity. He is standing in the power of strength. He is saying that all this, armor that you have on, these spears, these swords, this is not the way God reveals winning or wellness. And he said, so I am here. He takes it, and I am doing God's work. And he takes his sling and his flat stone, which is what he already has, and he slings that and hits Goliath in the head, and Goliath falls down. And so the teachings are about us, right? The teachings are the Goliath in our lives. These things that appear so big and so terrifying, and I will tell you, they are illusions. Then we have the King Sauls that are in our mind that are you kidding? You think you're going to get a job that you love? Are you kidding? You think you can resolve that issue with that person that you haven't ever liked in your whole life? Are you kidding? You think you can really be loved just the way you are? And then David is the part of you that says, yeah, I am that I am. I am enough. It says, consider your own David nature that is capable of standing up to big, scary monsters such as disease, financial hardships, and other challenges. Despite the voices of Saul, discouraging and self-defeating thoughts, we can rely upon spiritual strength. In the light of spiritual strength, monsters are revealed as illusions. We face them undaunted, as if slaying them with the launch of a small stone. We defeat them by standing stable, courageous, and tenacious. Charles Fillmore taught that spiritual strength always overcomes the seemingly strong personal and material conditions. So my question to us this morning as divinely audacious souls is, what is your Goliath and where is your David? All right? What is your Goliath and where is your David? And also, where's that pesky King Saul in the midst of everything? All right, and so let us be with these questions as we spend our time together this morning, because the world is always going to give us opportunities to practice our spiritual powers, to recognize that there isn't anything against us, that everything is for us. There is nothing against me, everything is for me. Can we say that together? Excellent, right? And that may be a big breathe in. Really? Yeah. And so this ability to really say spiritual strength is the place that will help me see where it is that I can stay stable and I can stay courageous and tenacious. All right, so there are 3 words that will enhance your David, that will keep your David alive, and they are stability, courage, and tenacity. I think, there we go. Okay. Stability, courage, and tenacity. All right, stability. I'd like us all, let's just stand up for a moment, those that can stand, and if not, just sit, and you can practice this just sitting in a chair. I'd like you to focus on your feet, or close your eyes, and then focus on your feet on the ground. And notice as you stand, you are vibrations. So you may be able to stand still for a moment and then notice that you may have a little movement in a leg or in some part of your body, but to keep standing and recognize how important it is to focus on the stability of your feet on the ground. And the metaphor is, the question is, in what are you rooted? We recognize without our feet on the ground, we are not able to navigate. If we are not able to sit upright and breathe, if you're in a chair, you cannot be who you are. So just feel your sense of maybe even movement and a little bit of flowing in your feet on the ground, and recognize this power of strength. I am stable in my I amness. Can we say that together? I am stable in my I amness. And just take another few moments to feel what it feels like to practice paying attention to standability. And then have a seat. All right? And so that practice of just noticing the body wanting to stabilize, the feet on the ground, is a wonderful, very simple practice when you're feeling distorted or distracted or torn apart by all of the challenges even in your life or in the world. Years ago, I started a practice of yoga. And I used to think yoga, I was like, oh, whatever with yoga. How cardiovascular is that? And I was amazed that anybody, it's just for, people that really don't want to exercise, right? And so I started practicing yoga, and I realized my body was so happy. It was like an inside-out massage. And I've also noticed that any posture that I'm doing in yoga, if it's a standing posture, the main thing I need to focus on is the foot on the ground, right? I mean, I can want to do the poses and this and that, but if I focus on, I hope I'm doing this leg up here right, I always fall, right? Because the point is, it's the foot on the ground, and just to focus on my foot on the ground keeps my posture, able to occur. Right? So the ability to really practice stability, because the winds of change are always going to be happening, and your ability to stay stable. So a question you may be asking yourself during this week is, what is my root? What am I committed to? How can I return? Pat was talking in our class about having some family things going on, and she said, I love the Charles Fillmore invocation, and we were going to print it out. I am in the pure presence of being. I am in the pure presence of being. And she says that, whenever all of these things are happening, I am in the pure presence of being. All right, so what is it that is your stability? If we go into stability, the definition is, oh boy, let's practice that one. To be rooted in or anchored to a firm foundation, the capacity to anchor ourselves securely in the truth of our unlimited source of calm, security, and balance. All right? Now, one of the ways that we balance ourselves in unity is by affirmations, by telling ourselves the truth, and all of a sudden, there's something that shifts in you. So let's do our affirmation that we have for today. Up there, okay, and it's probably in your bulletin too if you can't see up there, and it goes there. No, I think it's pretty good. We got a stable affirmation up there. Okay, so here we go. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I am the power of standability, anchored to the shore while the winds of change swirl around me. I am centered in truth during times of instability. I am spiritual strength, stable, courageous, and tenacious. And if you choose to breathe in, that's a good one. All right. Is that what you say when that pesky little family member calls you? Or you turn on the news? I'm going to practice. It would be great. Practice that affirmation and then turn on the news and watch. Observe, where you go. It's fascinating, isn't it? Because, see, we're not victims of this world. We are creators. We are co-creators of this world. Isn't that a different way of seeing it? And I'll tell you all the time, I'm like, whoa, have I given my power away, right? Whoa, come back here, right? So this ability to be stable. There were some very interesting, very challenging events last week. And the ability to stand in our power of strength. And I really appreciate Tom bringing up the writer of that song, because there is a couple of people to whom I'd like to refer when it comes to being able to stand stable and stand for something that is about peace and morality and oneness and inclusivity that we stand for here at Unity. So the events of Charlottesville, Virginia, brought up a lot of sadness for me, concern, alarm, and also a knowingness that it is so important to see what I have not been able to see. That part of what's happening, I think, in our country right now is a lot of things are coming to the surface that I think as people that have probably been about peace on the planet and inclusivity and diversity, it feels shocking. I think it was really, for many people, unknown. But there are so many people that have not only been connected to this, but are about making the world a different place. And so this idea of not letting this Goliath take over your David, right? What is your Goliath and what is your David? There is a gentleman that was part of the white supremacists in his teenage years. He said that he was a lost and felt abandoned teenager and was picked up by this group of people and felt that this was his power, this was his community, this was his way, was being a white supremacist. And he started a music store that was called Chaos Records, and he was just serving, I guess it was white rock music or something of the sort. And then he decided he was going to bring other music into the store so he could take money from his enemies, right? The people that were not the white people. And then he recognized that these people were coming into his store and were so kind to him and were so generous to him. And he said, these people, of all people, should not be kind to me. And through that, and also having children that had abandoned him, he started to realize the error of his ways, that this Goliath that he had bought into had completely covered up his sense of David. As a leader of the American white supremacist movement for nearly 30 years, Christian Piccolini wrote propaganda, devised infiltration strategies, and broke mergers with similar organizations in the U.S. Now 43-year-old Chicago native spends his days with a different purpose. He's a co-founder of Life After Hate, a nonprofit group devoted to helping former neo-Nazis and other extremists shed their toxic ideology. We've got a picture of Christian. Yes. He said, and this is what he said, blacks and Jews that came into my store showed me compassion, and they were the ones I least deserved it from. He was also abandoned by his wife and 2 sons, and he said he became so embarrassed. And he said today he is busier than ever, that he believes that what has happened in our country with the politics that are going on, that this undercurrent of this kind of a belief system is coming up, and in his way, he believes to be healed. And he used to have 2 people a week that would come, and now he has 5 people a day that are coming into Life After Hate that want to find another way besides being part of a hate group. His quote, I thought, was one of the most amazing I've ever heard. He said it was disheartening that he's talking about Charlottesville, and I think it might get worse before it gets better. He says, I'm also very hopeful because I think it was a major turning point in our history. I think it kicked America in the gut. But what he says 9 out of 10 of these people, they have never had a meaningful interaction or dialogue with the people that they hate. They hate other people because they hate themselves. And so what he has done as a person that was in this kind of a community that, again, lost, I don't believe there's any baby ever born that says, I don't like that baby, right? All of this is learned, all of this is taught, and all of this is about being in a community that is against others rather than being in a community that is for everyone. And this man, again, he's here in Chicago. That will definitely tie to his organization. But it is this ability to Life After Hate. Haven't we all had moments of time where we felt something was against me rather than for me? And so this man has not only seen the error of his ways, but he then became founding a group to help people that are dealing with this kind of illusion, this Goliath illusion. He said last week he ended up taking a man to a take your tattoo off parlor that had a swastika tattooed onto his forehead. So the ability to really hold that space as David. There was another woman involved that was a paralegal in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm sorry, this really gets me. And she was a person that always wanted to stand up for what she realized was not right in her heart, just like David. And she was in Charlottesville, and she said, I am not going to let these people take over my city. This is not what my city was about. And she told her friends, I'm afraid to go. I don't want to die, but I have to stand up for what I believe in. And so Heather Heyer went to this rally and was run over by a car, driven by a group of this hate group. And I will tell you what her father said at her memorial service. He says, my daughter had more courage than I've ever had. She got a wider background than I do. That girl had some courage, and it was just who she was. She was always that way. I'm proud of what she tried to accomplish. She woke up this town of Charlottesville in a big way. And he ends up with, he says, you've got so much life. He says, you've only got so much life. Do you really want to spend it hating someone? Right? And this is the father of this woman who he says, I'm never going to see her smile again, but she has created a legacy. She got attention for people to show up for what matters to them. So if we talk about courage, which is the next part of the power of strength, and I realize this could be very challenging just to even, kind of revisit these stories, but this idea of these people have been lost, that are doing this kind of thing. And that what we get to do as spiritual creators of this planet is to stand for what you believe, is to come to places like Unity, and then go out and create what it is that you are motivated to create. Life after hate. What a valuable experience for this man. And who knows what's going to come from the legacy of Heather. I mean, her father, her parents are so, sad, but also in great support of what she is about on this planet. This starts so small, friends. It really starts with our ability to see anything as against us. I know I had a minister that's been part of our Unity 2020 process and has really helped us a lot. And he's a friend of mine. It kind of surprises me that he is because we're so different. And at one point, he really intimidated me. I met him in Kansas City, and he really intimidated me. He's gay, and he's so together, and he's a good speaker, and he doesn't really have all this emotional stuff, and he's very, I was always like, he's great, but how do we relate? And he sort of wanted to be my friend, and I couldn't figure out why. And so we were having lunch, and I said, the story we can say is you intimidate me, right? But what's really true is I feel intimidated when I'm around you. And I said, I feel intimidated because I feel like I'm not as good of a speaker as you are. I feel like I'm not as together of a person as you are. I'm not quite as snappy. I know I don't have the order that you have in your home. He'd always say, go look in your car if you want to see your spiritual well-being. I'm like, get over that. That is so not true. Don't look in my car, And I said, like that car statement. Like, what? I'm glad your car's clean, but whatever. So I'm doing a lot of stuff. So he says, and he just started laughing, and he said, Heidi, it's hilarious you're saying this to me, because the reason we're friends is because you are interested in how you feel and how other people feel and the processes of people, and that's why we're friends. He says, you are the kind of the other side of spirituality, and you intimidate me with how curious you are and how, what you want to study about what's going on with you and what's going on with other people, and I just sat there. Right? Like aghast, really. And we've become really good friends. But you look at the Goliath that I had going on, right? This Goliath of intimidation and all this kind of thing. And then this story of my David coming forward, bringing out the David in this man. So this starts so small in our lives. It's these minute things that we get to practice. I have a relative that's dealing with addiction so bad, and it breaks my heart, and I want to go fix it and solve it, and I don't even know. It makes me feel so out of control. But I know when I sit in strength, my thing to just send her love and to continue to tell her, call me when you want help, call me. And I don't even know what else will happen, because it's really turning into a big, 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 big challenge. And how to handle these things. But all of our practice of spiritual strength, of courage, of stability allows us to be available for people and not jump in and become part of the problem rather than part of the solution. So I'd like to say, again, what is your Goliath and where is your David? I want to close with our idea about tenacity, okay? Because tenacity is just you keep on keeping on. I know, when I first got into a 12-step program, and I didn't look so great, I'll tell you. And they kept just saying, I'd come in, and I don't even know what I was saying. They'd go, well, you just keep coming back. You just keep coming back. We're clear you're not quite fixed yet, but you just keep coming back. So, and I did. Didn't have anything else to do in my life, because I was like, yeah, you guys like me, nobody else does. So, all right. So here we go. Yeah. Well, thank you all. So we're going to talk about tenacity. And many of you have been, well, let me tell you this story first. In 1953, a year before I was born, not me, her, a startup company experimented with a rust prevention solvent for the aerospace industry. One attempt after another failed. 20 times, 30 times, 39 times. On the 40th try, WD-40 was born. That's right, it just cracks me up. It's for water displacement perfected on the 40th try. All right, today a can of WD-40, did she get one for me? I didn't know, I said throw one of those up there, sits on a shelf in my house. There you go. There it is. Today, a can of WD-40 sits on a shelf in my house and in houses across the globe, evidence of a tenacious team. Okay? I want to tell you that you are a tenacious soul. This community of Unity in Chicago has been carrying on for 30 plus years. We've been in this particular building for 28 years. This is tenacity, my friends. All right? So I want us to recognize that your presence here is what allows this to happen. If I pass the mic around and said, why do you come here? We're probably going to get completely different answers, but we're going to understand everybody's answers. Because what we get here, you may think you're really first coming here because it feels good or the coffee's great or you like cake or something. But then pretty soon what happens is I am becoming who I was born to be. Something is being born in me, blossoming in me that I didn't see before. And so I know that it is our connectedness, it's our tenacity that will allow this community to continue to go through the changes, with this power of strength that's within each of us. And so I invite you to continue to show up, to continue to grow, to continue to make peace in your life where it's necessary, to let Goliaths be that illusion, because they are. And I'd also invite you to show up this afternoon at Unity 2020, because we're talking about our future, how we continue to grow, how we continue to be in the us, and the us can do anything. United we stand, divided we don't stand so well, right? Stability is in unity. So thank you for being tenacious as you have, and thank you for continuing to be tenacious and to live this power of strength. And let's say our affirmation together and just put your hand on your heart as you are knowing this strength, all right? I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I am the power of standability, anchored to the shore while the winds of change swirl around me. I am centered in truth during times of instability. I am spiritual strength, stable, courageous, and tenacious. And let's breathe in. Give yourselves a hand for your tenacity and showing up here. So we are going to embody this power of strength. We are going to let it be a cellular experience. And we at Unity, of course, are based on prayer, on dropping into something that's more true about yourself. This is a song by Daniel Nahmod, and I am going to stand in my power of strength as I lead this. Where is Gretchen? No, anyway, I'm here, and we are going to really embrace what it feels like to have the power of strength, because the words are, when I pray, I let my heart go deeper into my God, into my David, into my truth, okay? So here we go. When I pray, I let my heart go deeper my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I let my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I let my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I let my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. So close your eyes and rest in your power of strength. Right here, right now, life is happening. Love is happening. We can ask ourselves, what can I do? What can I do? Sometimes this world feels so big and confusing. You know, what can I do? I can ignite that power within me that is God, that is David, that is bigger than any illusion of brokenness or hate or divisiveness. I wonder if I could take a moment in my strength and my perhaps compassion to visualize anyone that I feel is against me or against my country, to visualize them as little kids, babies even, and feel your heart soften, holding that truth to be true. Where is your David? David is right in your heart, right here and right now. So let's breathe in together and hold that breath of openness. And then let yourself exhale and breathe love into the world. Breathe in peace and hold that space in your heart. And breathe out love. Visualize the lower back, the lower part of your spine, and surround it with spring green. That beautiful spine that supports you, that allows you to sit up. That's where all these strong bones converge, these flexible ligaments and tendons, these large muscles and highly sensitive nerves. Shine the light of verdant spring green through that area where your back curves into your waistline. And shine that light throughout your abdominal cavity to embrace your whole body. And out beyond your body to your neighbor, to this whole community, and spreading across the earth like the invisible kingdom of the heavens. We are all born innocent and pure and willing and curious and very, very strong in spirit. If you'll repeat after me, I am divine strength. I am spiritual strength. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I appreciate my limitless power to stay strong in all circumstances. I am spiritual strength, stable, courageous, and tenacious. I invite you to take the hand of your spiritual family next to you and know that you are supported and loved by that soul as they support and love you. And you can, reach across if you need, and if not, just you can be in your space. So we're going to talk about love going deeper when we pray. So here we go. When I pray, I let my love go deeper. My love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I let my love go deeper. My love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. We allow ourselves to stay in that space of openness and strength as we speak the names of the folks that are on your heart, your own name, and just in a moment of silence, just speak forth in strength and love. So we know that we are grateful to have souls that we care about, have a country that we care about, that our prayers are immediately answered, that our ability to be aware of ourselves and who needs prayer support, that is our divine responsibility and our divine strength. So we bless this community, everyone that is here, everyone that is part of Unity in Chicago, the Unity movement completely, all of our volunteers, our beloved chaplains, and all the people that show up to make this community be what it is, our beautiful land, our gardeners. It's everyone that makes this what it is. And then we just send that light and love and laughter out to this world. We're the co-creators, so we have to hold that in our heart for it to be so. I embrace my David, and I let Goliath be an illusion, because Goliath is an illusion. I am set forth by the love that I know that I am. And so it is. Amen. I do want to share that, and again in this consciousness, that we had a dear member of our community, and in fact a member of our board, make his transition last Saturday, in fact. And we had a call from a friend of his during the week to confirm that he had passed on to spirit. It was Jeff Lang. I believe we will put his picture up here. And I talked to his mom yesterday, and he was part of our board, and he had a really wicked sense of humor. And he would tell us when we'd all laugh, he'd say, you know, I got that from my mom. So when I called her yesterday, I got her number from a friend of his that called, and she started laughing so hard when I said that. And she said that Jeff was a dear boy, so cute to hear his mom talk about him, and that as he had always shared, you know, he was challenged with addiction, with as he shared very openly with us. So it's so the ability to know that he has really gone on as the great and grand soul that he is, that he said yes to being on our board of trustees, which was a huge yes to be part of this community. And so let us just close our eyes and hold Jeff in your mind, in his ongoing, whether you knew him or not. Just allow that sense of how we all pass from this body at one point and go on to our spiritual ongoing. And if you would just repeat after me the prayer for protection as I say it. Jeff, the light of God surrounds you. Jeff, the light of God surrounds you. Jeff, the love of God enfolds you. Jeff, the love of God enfolds you. Jeff, the power of God protects you. Jeff, the power of God protects you. And Jeff, the presence of God watches over you. Jeff, the power of God watches over you. Wherever you are. And all is well. And let's just breathe into that for Jeff. So again, if you, I told his mom, who was very grateful that I called. I just said this community loved him so much and that she could reach out and talk to us at any time. And she was just really, really grateful. She said she knew that this was a wonderful part of Jeff's life. So just know that we bless him and his ongoing. Chaplains are here to pray with you after the service, and it's a wonderful way to continue with your spiritual strength. And they're up here. So let's... we have 4 on a page. There's 8, so now we'll go on to the next, right? So our chaplains are here. They have really, it's not only studied prayer, but really practiced it every day in their lives. And so our chaplains that are here today, if you guys will stand, so we have Holly and Rosie, and just know they're here to pray with you after the service. So thank you all so much for being present and being with us. And they are over in the Fillmore room after the service. Also, if you would like a wellness call, that's a call from a chaplain once a month. Who gets wellness calls, right? It helps so much. Thank you, Rosie. I heard from you during the week. It was like, yes. So sign up for a wellness call upstairs or downstairs. And I believe that we are now going to celebrate our abundance. All right? So we are here to live as... the strength of truth, the strength of abundance, the strength of knowing that you give from that sense of knowing that you can't outgive God. There's always this place of knowing this is one of many sources of good. And so if you give, some people give automatically. It's a recurring giving program called Abundant Life, and it's always a wonderful way if you can be in Abundant Life. We ask you to sign up for that. But if you'll put your hands together, and if you have your love offering there, or if you give in another way, that's great, but just put your hands together because we're all part of this together. So we breathe into the sense of abundance, and if we can say our offering blessing, it's a little different because we're mixing it up, right? We're strong in the midst of change. Here we go. I am abundance in action. There is no lack in my life. I give from the fullness of what I receive. What I give returns into my life multiplied abundantly. I hold a vision of thriving for myself and for unity in Chicago, and so it is. And today is the day, and Tom's going to lead us in that song.
Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. 1,000,000 tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine. I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow will bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. 1,000,000 tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glory. I can't live on promises, winter to spring. Today is my moment, now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tom. Sweet. I saw y'all swaying. All right, so we just breathe into abundance and gratitude for this community, the spirit of strength. I am divine strength in action. Together?
I am divine strength in action.
I give generously.
I give generously.
I receive gratefully.
I receive gratefully.
I am abundance in action.
I am abundance in action.
And all is well. Thank you so much. All right, very quickly, I know we did a little long with all these variety of wonderful things. Basically, church lunch right after this, and then come up here for Unity 2020. I think we will make a CD, Juan. Okay, let's remember. CD, okay? So if you can't make it, then we'll have a CD for you, but it'd be great if you're here. Your presence is so valuable. The weekend retreat starts this Friday, 7 to 9. If you can only come to one part of it, that's fine, but it's really great if you come to both. We will have dinner from 6 to 7 pizza, but we're going to be outside at the gazebo for the evening and having a wonderful experience out there and coming inside. And Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsitt, she is one of the most audacious people I've ever met in my life, and she is now the head of Silent Unity, right? I mean, she is like beyond powerful. So yeah, you got to meet her. I do want to say September 24th, we're going back to 2 services. So if you're happy about that, clap, right? I know, okay. I mean, we do a survey, it's 50-50, so we're back to 50 people, 50% will be fine. It's great, So the deal is, it's 9:30 and 11:30 starting September 24th, and Megan McDonough is going to be our vocalist that day, so that's really great. And we have a movie that's going to be shown this Wednesday called Call Me Crazy, and Carolyn Lane's going to come up and give us just a few words about Carolyn Lane and Denise Forte are hosting that, and Carolyn has a lovely way of talking about the film, and then you all take a moment and go out to the Sunshine Gallery and talk to her if you are inspired to do so. Welcome, Carolyn. Thank you for your courage and getting up and doing your thing. Yes. David, speak. Yes.
I feel darkness. There is no light in the world to show the way. The abyss is what I call it most often. It feels as though I'm being held hostage by what I don't know. It's the heavy weight of nothingness. There are no feelings, just a blank space. I relinquish myself to this state. I cry, sit in the silence, rock back and forth as a way to soothe myself. When will this end? When will the light return? When will I be normal again? Hi, I'm Carolyn. I wrote that piece several years ago when I was just coming out of a major depression. Mental illness has permeated my family always. My father had his first ECT shock treatment at the age of 18, and we continued with that process throughout his life. In 2007, I lost a brother to suicide. It's a very big part. After years of trial and error and lots of people supporting, lots of spiritual development with Unity, and lots of strength, life seems easier now. It's a daily event, but it's combined with the right meds and meditation and diet and exercise. There's great hope. So I bring this topic up to you, this difficult topic, not to be dramatic, but to break the silence, the stigma. I want to be a voice for mental illness because there is so much to be hopeful for. We know so much more than we knew when my father was struggling. If I were to write a book today, the title would be Shatter the Shame, Embrace the Hope. So let's get talking about this. And this movie on Wednesday night, thank you, Denise, for bringing it to my attention. So this movie is a way to begin the conversation. So come to the movie on Wednesday. Doors open at 6:45. We start at 7. Maybe 2 minutes after, but we're really going to try to stick right to the schedule, because we do want to allow a little bit of debriefing and processing time. And so to do that, the movie itself is about an hour and a half. So we want to leave some time to do that. So come, pass the word, bring your friends. We will have popcorn and water. And so it'll be, and most importantly, we'll be there with open hearts. Thank you.
Carolyn, thanks for sharing so honestly and authentically, and to you and Denise for bringing the movie to Unity. Thanks. So to those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are thrilled that you have joined us. We hope that you've had a great experience, and we would love to share a little bit of a token of our appreciation. So if you are here first, second, or even third visit, please hold up your hand so we can find you and we can share our welcome with you. The people passing out the flowers are members of our welcome team, and they have pink badges. They're available to meet with you afterwards, answer any questions. We also come down to the Sunshine Gallery because you get a bag. Wonderful bag. That's the reason to come down. Right there. And then there's also a packet of information if you'd also complete the information session. We'd love to know more about you and how you found Unity. And don't miss your bag, your opportunity for a bag. Okay, today's flowers, the very, very beautiful sunflowers that are behind me, are generously donated by our very own Rev Heidi Alfrey in celebration of the light, love, and laughter created in the world by the spiritual community of Unity in Chicago. And Rev Heidi says, I am so grateful for our community, for all the years past and all the years to come. The future is wow. Thank you very much. And if you'd like to donate flowers for your special occasion or for anything, September 3rd is available, if you'd like that date, as well as additional fall dates. Stop by the information desk or email mickey@unitychicago.org to reserve your date. Just a couple of reminders. The Pet Ministry is here each Sunday with pets in need of foster or forever homes. Please see Carol Stiegel for more information on how to take in a pet or otherwise support this extraordinary ministry. Fabulous.
2 words.
Okay, 2 words.
This little kitty is 9 weeks old, and somebody brought him to my vet. They dropped him on his head, and he can't walk. And we'd like your prayers and any donations because he needs an MRI. Thank you. Thank you.
What's his name, Carol? Does he have
Lazarus.
any? Lazarus. Chronic healing is canceled today as well as September 3rd. They're going to return September 17th. And you can stay connected to Unity in Chicago in a number of ways. Our email blast, of course, if you're not on it, put your name on the list at the bottom of the stairs. And also read it, of course. Look at the bulletin. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And now, let's welcome back the incredibly talented Tom Logan.
Okay. I'll go with that. You know, the things about Charlottesville. The thing about those people is they got out there. They spread their hate, you know. They didn't sit in their rooms. So how can we combat it? The only way is to get out there and spread the love, spread compassion and love audaciously. And so we need to live out loud. We can't live in our little, the way we've been living, kind of in, I've got all my beliefs. We need to get it out there and make it happen. So I'd suggest standing up. Imagine this, I get a phone call from Regis. He says, do you want to be a millionaire? They put me on the show and I win with 2 lifelines to spare. Picture this, I act like nothing ever happened and carry all my money in a coffee can. Well, I've been given more than Regis ever gave away. I was a dead man who was called out to of my grave. I think it's time for making some noise. Wake the neighbors, get the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, meant to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud, yeah! Think about this, try to keep a bird from singing after it's soared up in the sky. Give the sun a cloudless day and tell it not to shine. Think about this, if we really have been given the gift of a life that will never end, and if we have been filled with living hope, we're gonna overflow. And if God's love is burning in our hearts, we're gonna glow. There's just no way to keep it in. Wake the neighbor, give the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, meant to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud, yeah! I want everybody to sing with me now. Live out loud, everybody. La la la, la la la, la la la, live out. Everybody sing now. La la la, la la la, la la la, live out loud. Every corner of creation is a living declaration. Come join the song we were made to sing. Wake the neighbor, give the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, meant to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud. Wake the neighbors, give the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, meant to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud. All right, everybody sing with me now. La la la, live out loud. Everybody, la la la, la la la, la la la, live out. Real loud, everybody now. La la la, let me hear ya. Audacious. Live out loud now, everybody. La la la, la la la, la la la, live out loud, yeah! All right.
There and live out loud as you always do. So let's keep doing it. Here we go. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I am the power of standability, anchored to the shore while the winds of change swirl around me. I'm centered in truth during times of instability. I am spiritual strength, stable, courageous, and tenacious. And here we go. Let's get out here.
Let's all sing this together. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together, together, and let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yea, God. Yes. Have a great week. 1, 2, 3. Good luck. I could love. I could love. I was feeling so sad. Asked my friendly doctor just what I had. I said, Doctor, Mr. MD, can you tell me what's ailing me? He said, yeah. Get me all I really need. Good love, give me that love. All I need is love. Good love, baby.